So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick, and plus I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Rio, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, National Federation Party calls for early cane payment from FSC. BlackRock RFMF base to train peacekeepers. And $2 million facelift for Yatule Beach Resort. Good evening, I'm Akosita Tale and you're watching FBC News. The Fiji Sugar Corporation has come under fire from the National Federation Party for not giving out a special cane payment to farmers ahead of the new school year. FSC Executive Chair Abdul Khan has defended the decision, but NFP leader Biman Prasad says farmers will ultimately suffer. Christopher Chan reports.
Unlike previous years, FSC will not issue a special cane payment to farmers this year. Instead, those who need assistance have to apply for a loan from the Sugarcane Growers Fund.
This year, because of the constraint in terms of our revenue stream and in terms of the price, we have to be very careful. So what we've done is those farmers that need that assistance, we will provide it to them rather than across the board.
A lot of farmers have come to us, telling us that this is not what they expected the FSC to do. What they expect the FSC to do is to make a special cane payment of $4 to $5 now. And obviously, this is farmers' own money. They're not asking for charity.
Biman Prasad says the FSC should tell farmers if it's facing financial difficulties.
Do they have a cash flow problem? This is what we want to know. And so it's not good enough to say to farmers, okay, if you need some help, you should go to the Growers Fund.
I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but from where we sit at the moment and as far as FSC is gone, because of the revenue constraint that we have seen for this season, there is a constraint on cash flow. A constraint on cash flow doesn't mean that we cannot pay the farmers. It just means that according to the requirements, there was never to be a special payment made to them.
Khan says the decision was based on the challenges they projected for 2015 and the fact that the payment is not under the Master Award.
That the special payment is not a payment that is made. Every time we made the payment, we have made it very clear to the farmers that this is a payment based on what cash we have available and the need for those payments. So rather than just depending on a payment that is not really there, I think it's a misconception.
Well, we are saying that the Prime Minister should intervene and Prime Minister should direct the FSC to make this special cane payment of $4 to $5 per ton to the farmers.
The last cane payment was in December. The next one is expected in March. Until then, farmers can only get help from the Cane Growers Fund if they need money to prepare their children for school. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The new BlackRock Army camp in Nandi won't be just a military training facility. It's been earmarked as a center for peacekeeping training for soldiers bound for UN missions overseas, but there will be other activities included. The government has budgeted around $7 million to get the BlackRock infrastructure up and running for special military training. The site has been assigned as a peacekeeping center for troops to undergo training in preparation for deployment to UN missions overseas.
Peacekeeping operations can be trained, and also courses run that are accredited by the UN can be run there like other armies who have peacekeeping training centers. So that could be for training of regional personnel who can be deployed for peacekeeping type operations.
The Land Force commander says although their focus will be training troops for the demands of peacekeeping missions, the RFMF has identified other capabilities for BlackRock given the military's numerous responsibilities within Fiji.
We're looking at other opportunities like using it for disaster management training or any other training that can be beneficial for the country, and it involves the RFMF as well. So in that regard, it is not purely limited to that military type of training.
The training center will support Fiji's growing peacekeeping engagement as well as cater for current and future contingents from around the region. More diabetes cases are being detected amongst all the age groups, and the support group Diabetes Fiji says this is a worrying trend. The organization says many people are living in denial, resulting in the increase in diabetes patients. Ritika Pratap reports.
People are finding it hard to accept the fact that they have diabetes, and the focus now is to emphasize the ownership of the illness.
We should also note that for every diabetic that we diagnose, there's a huge denial. So the denial makes them not treat themselves, I mean, as a young person, if I told you that your sugar was 22, you'd say, no, you're lying to me, doctor, and you go into denial. And that is a huge problem by itself.
Dr. Wahid Khan says more women in Fiji have diabetes than men. However, it's more of the men who undergo diabetes-related amputation.
The female tends to stay in the house, do the housework, is not, whereas the male is out there and walking barefoot and getting infected and having an amputation. I think the figures currently is that one amputation in every 12.5 hours. That's a pretty figure that we can work on.
Dr. Khan says we cannot decrease diabetes. However, it can be halted.
The reversal in the incidence of diabetes will happen in the next generation. And the next generation are the children who are coming up and the young adults, So they will have to change their life, living habits for diabetes to be halted, really, to be changed and reversed.
Diabetes is a multifaceted illness which results in a high level of glucose in blood as a consequence of diminished levels of circulating insulin in the body. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A new classroom block has been opened at the Nasivi Koso Primary School in Ba, catering for the increasing number of students living in nearby villages. Sakyu Sanaivua reports.
The 2015 school year starts in 2 days, and these new classrooms in the interior of Ba ensures the children in Nasivi Koso don't miss out on their chance for an education.
You have been given a fantastic opportunity to get on in life. The best opportunity that any Fijian child has ever been given in the history of our nation. For the first time, my government has been able to provide you with free schooling, not only here in primary school, but when you get older and go on to high school.
Prime Minister Vorenke Mbanyamrama, while opening the new classrooms and teachers' quarters, said the government will continue to ensure more classrooms for Year 1 to 13 in rural areas. This will avoid children having to live away from their parents while attending school. Residents of Nasivi Koso were reminded the government will ensure every child is given a chance to do their very best in school and achieve their dreams.
So work hard at your studies and play hard on the sports field or your other activities. And above all, learn to enjoy learning new things and gaining extra knowledge.
With the inclusion of the newly built classroom blocks, Nasivi Koso Village School will now provide classes for 137 students from Year 1 to Year 8. Sakyu Sanaivua, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, Suva's only 24-hour supermarket makes it work.
Oya wawa tisoni dalai. Ibonga ya mozindoni. Nama dikirau bena tolu kena bitu. Ena via kabi moliti kena porombuka. Gori ana lali ne kabi. Bula FM namba 2 ena seri.
Welcome back to FBC News. Yatule Resort has undergone a $2 million facelift and is now under new management. The Fiji National Provident Fund has leased the property to tour managers. Christopher Chan reports.
Less than a year after it closed down for renovations, the resort has reopened for business following extensive work.
Given this potential, the board made a decision to reinvest into the upgrade of resort with an outsourced management. The fund has invested just over $2 million in resort upgrade, with significant improvement is expected to increase the revenue from this property.
It will now be run by Nandi-based company Tour Managers, which won the bid to manage it under an agreement that it gives back a certain percentage of its revenue.
The partnership between Tour Managers and FNPF, I believe, is one of the very first lease operating agreements whereby the operator is required to provide an agreed return to FNPF.
Last year, owners FNPF shut down Yatule Beach Resort while it looked for a suitable operator to bounce back from losses sustained over a number of years.
I intend, as Tour Managers, committed to making FNPF and our investment very successful, not only for Yatule Resort and Spa, but also that intent highlights that Fijians can strive to higher goals of managing properties in our fiercely competitive tourism industry.
The soft launch yesterday also coincided with Tour Managers' 10th year anniversary. The resort is now open for business with 36 renovated rooms, a new look and a new direction in the tourism industry. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Companies listed on the South Pacific Stock Exchange will soon find it easy to monitor their shares with the new centralized system that will be introduced this year. The new system will be based at the SPSC Center in Suva. Ellen Stolz has more.
Introduction of the new system would mean if you own numerous shares in different companies, you would only have to come to one registry to get information about all your shares.
Which means a lot of companies that will join the stock exchange or already are on the official board of the stock exchange will have one registry which will handle everyone's shares.
At present, a lot of companies have their own registries.
Right now, shareholders, investors have to call the brokers to find out, if they've lost their certificates. It becomes a big issue to get it indemnified and get a replacement certificate. So it's all moving in that direction where hopefully the Companies Act, if it comes out revised, it will do away with even requiring you to hold share certificates. So the registry will become the main source, basically, on providing all the information on what shares is owned by who.
To date, there are a total of 18 registered companies listed on the stock exchange. The stock exchange has already engaged with a local software developer, and if all goes to plan, the system could be up and running by the end of the third quarter of this year. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
In tonight's successful Fijian segment, Chanal Sivan talks to the man behind a 24-hour supermarket in the quiet suburbs of Turek in Suva. The 786 supermarket has become the go-to place for people in the capital city who need to do some last-minute shopping, even in the odd hours of the night. Here's the story.
Muhammad Kanukarati began his journey in the business world with many hurdles. He first started with a DVD and a computer business in Turek Suva, but it failed. This is his third attempt getting back into business.
I started this business very small scale. We started to sell some bread, and one of my friends from the Punjas, he came and gave me some advice. He started to put some sunbell and some Punjas tea bag. He can start off something. So from there I started expand this business. My past two business I really failed, could not survive because of the piracy and the computer market, huge competition.
What started off as a small retail outlet has today expanded to a large supermarket with everything a customer could need. Muhammad says he has gained respect and attracted many customers by marketing halal meat, one of the reasons why he has named his business 786, numbers which are symbolic for Muslims.
We just thought of to make one new concept. Yes, 24 hours operation. It's a challenge and convenient for the consumers. And we wanted to win this time. We wanted to success. That's why we tried our best to do something different from other supermarkets. And I had a very good support from like Hari Kishun Brothers, like FMF, Punjas, and Goodman Fielder. These are the 3-4 company always help me and grow my business.
Muhammad is expanding his business this year by opening a clothing shop and a halal fine dining restaurant.
Actually, we are planning to set up our bakery here and our fast food and our clothing and department store and our restaurant, dining restaurant. That fully exclusively for the halal restaurant, which is not in Suva city. That's what we making, planning to.
How much will it take for those projects? And give us a timeline.
Maybe another next 3 months time. That's what we planning to complete.
He adds Fiji is a place where people can grow their business quickly and efficiently if you tap into the right niche market.
Fiji is a very good potential to invest, and our capital is a minimum capital we can survive, and rather than we go into Australia, New Zealand and other Singapore. But our small capital, we can grow the business faster than other countries here. It's let's say even 500,000 here. If the 500,000 we take it to Australia, New Zealand, we can't do that. But in Fiji, we can do that.
Muhammad has spent close to $1 million on his supermarket, saying his many obstacles along the way have only made him more determined. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
In sports, Samoa netball team promises surprises in Tri-Series. And under-17 football team loses out in Oceania playoff.
बॉलीवुड हीरो पंती रे. Get this.
हीरो सपना दिखेला बंद करो.
क्या करो यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं.
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग में हूँ अश्निल सिंह.
हाय मैं हूँ काजल.
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM.
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Ba has won the first leg of the Pele's Garments Champion vs Champion series in Suva, defeating the capital city side 5-3. Here are the goals. The return leg will be played next Sunday at Bas Govin Park. The Samoa netball team has arrived for the Oceania Netball Series tomorrow. Coach Masiaha Castle says they're here to show that Samoa's qualification in the Netball World Cup wasn't a fluke. Josephina Vula has the details.
With the Oceania Tri-Series starting tomorrow, the Samoa netball team looks focused even though the girls have flown in on the eve of the competition. Coach Masiaha Castle says it will be a good experience and exposure for the girls.
Playing against the Ferns is going to be really good for us. Fiji, yep, we want another go at them. We played them at PNS, so we want to make sure we can do a better job this time.
The Samoans beat the winless Cook Islands 50 points to 36 to finish the Pacific Series in second place with 4 wins from 6 matches to join champion Fiji qualifying for the World Cup. Castle says they have a couple of new players and this is where they need to come in with the goods.
Have got a couple of new players, young players come in, and we just want to make sure that they get on the court this time round to see where they're going to be, where they're at, ready for World Cup.
The coach adds she has tried various combinations with the team, which adds an element to their style of play.
A few that have played together for probably the last year and a half, so we've consolidated an area there.
The 4-test series will see the girls play the Silver Ferns in their first match and Fiji in their last match. Samoa will play the Silver Ferns on Tuesday at the Vodafone Arena in Suva. Josephina Vula, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Silver Ferns is ready to face the Fiji Pearls in the opening match tomorrow. The girls arrived in the country yesterday and are already enjoying the Fijian climate. Coach Waimarama Taumaunu says this is a chance for the girls to prove how they're gearing up to the Netball World Cup.
Not that it's been very warm in New Zealand as well, but in the main, our focus to date has been on a conditioning program in New Zealand, and we're really keen to get over here in the heat and to test our athletes.
The Fiji Pearls vs Silver Ferns match is tomorrow at the Vodafone Arena in Suva. The PWD Bure Sevens is hoping they can secure some sponsors for the upcoming series. Despite going into its 3rd season, the tournament has never been sponsored. Coordinator Takelo Savo says it has been the dedication of the individual teams that has made it a success.
There's no sponsor for this tournament. It is the hard work of the chief organizer, Solo, and his series official that makes things happening, and also the support from the teams. These teams, they're very supportive. They support this series.
The series is played every 2 weeks at Lautoka's Churchill Park. The national under-17 football has no chance of making the semi-finals of the Oceania playoffs in Samoa after losing its 3rd match to New Caledonia 5-1. Here are the goals. The team takes on Cook Islands at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Chelsea has increased its lead to 5 points at the top of the English Premier League points table, beating Swansea City 5-0 this morning. It now has 52 points from 22 games, while Manchester City has 47 points with a game in hand. In other matches, Liverpool beat Aston Villa 2-0, Crystal Palace defeated Burnley 3-2, Manchester United beat QPR 2-0, while Tottenham defeated Sunderland 2-1. Manchester City takes on Arsenal at 3 a.m. tomorrow, and you can watch it live on FBCTV. Showers and isolated thunderstorms affected most parts of the country today. A weak trough of low pressure remains slow moving over Fiji and extends over Tonga and Niue. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure affects Tuvalu, Tokelau and northern Cooks. Temperatures remained warm over the Fiji group despite the rainy conditions. Tomorrow's forecast is for more showers and thunderstorms over the Fiji group. Further outlook: occasional showers over eastern parts and the interior of larger islands, afternoon or evening showers and isolated thunderstorms elsewhere. The main points again: National Federation Party wants early cane payment to help farmers' children with 2015 school year, and Black Rock military camp in Nandi to train peacekeepers. To the poll question this week, we ask: should full banking services be made available on Saturdays? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensize@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for tonight. Join Jackie and the team from tomorrow evening. I'll be back next weekend. Until then, stay safe and good night.